Good afternoon again, and it's a pleasure to be back and actually to engage on this particular channel. So today I'm going to talk about OpenAI, Open Artificial Intelligence, and basically with a focus on the case for ChatGPT. We've all been talking about it. It's actually taken over the storm in terms of internet sensation discussions. What are the potential? What are the possibilities? And if you look at it from all that has been possible, it's the fact that just by typing a single question, ChatGPT is able to give you concrete information that actually guides you on what you needed without giving you multiple search options, like the same way we've been used with Google. And on that account, most people have been talking about, well, ChatGPT is going to take over from Google, and actually Google will become obsolete over time and all that. These are possibilities, but at the same time, they are far-fetched assumptions in the sense that, for in terms of use of information, this one I think is the fact that I go online to Google and even search for a particular information, and in so doing, then oftentimes I have to evaluate the kind of website that are giving me that information. Some I don't trust, some I don't believe in, and some I doubt the authenticity. So therefore, in terms of information that you're consuming, it's dependent on who is creating that information. Are they somebody? Is he or she somebody that I trust? Is it an organization that is reputable or not? And that is something that ever came to the fore when we're talking about COVID-19 pandemic and the management approaches. There was misinformation, disinformation, and false lies that were being peddled over the internet, and therefore it was critical for us to establish whether we're using the right information or we're using information that is being given by anyone and everyone. So when we look at it, even from the discussion that have been going on in terms of ChatGPT, the question has been, is it information that is being given? Let's say, for example, if I'm searching for the use of artificial intelligence in pharmaceutical drug development and research and design, is it giving me factual information based on evidence in terms of research, or is it giving a kind of human, well curated information that might be false or it might be inaccurate? And if we have got that kind of information critical assessment and analysis going on, definitely most people still will go back to Google to search the information and get the options so they can choose what they need to use. But at the end of the day, when that kind of level of trust and authenticity has been established, then they will be in a better position to actually trust the information that is being presented on ChatGPT to move it to the next level. But ChatGPT is just one possibility. With open artificial intelligence, one of the key things we're asking ourselves is, machine is able to use data sets that have been used in formatting it and designing it to be able to give information that can be used in making implementing actions, giving recommendations and all that. When you look at it from a human intelligence, it's about you being able to use information that is presented to you, deduce information, and use that information to make informed decisions. That is the knowledge. And in one of the articles that I actually wrote about a while back, that was on the fourth industrial revolution and what's the hidden piece in it. It was about data that is going to help us generate the information and the data that we are going to generate from the technological solutions. Then we move from there to the information that we can be actually infer from that particular data set that we're using or generating from the technological solution. Then finally, the use cases, that is the information application of that information that we had from technologies. So that is the whole matrix and the whole continuum of how we can use artificial intelligence. Now it's a computer and a technological solution that is actually analyzing and synthesizing information to give you the final results that you need. You'd say, for example, I have headache, what should I do? Then it gives you an information on what you need to do, whether it's headaches that is coming as a result of you not having taken your medication, and or you not having taken water or not having slept enough. So all the use cases can be presented, and it's about, is that technological solution or the gadget that you're using robust and efficient enough to actually deduce what would be the cost and actually give you recommendations on what to do. That is where we're talking about intelligence. So with all that background and information that we've gotten, then the question you need to be asking yourself is, what is the role? What is the role that artificial intelligence is playing and is going to play in pharmaceutical practice and actually the future of pharmaceutical industry? When we talk about it from pharmacy practice, it's about developing products and actually making them accessible to patients who need them. That is medicines or medical devices and technologies. Then when you look at pharma industries, research and development as well, then also the pharmaceutical care comes into pharmacy practice. So how can you use artificial intelligence? How does ChatGPT play a role in helping you deliver quality care at an individual level? One of the key things that we have to acknowledge at the moment, even from the evidence and the information that has been provided, is that the data sets that have been used in designing and actually rollout of ChatGPT had been in particular domain areas. That's one. Two, it has been in particular geographical locations. And therefore, most of the times, one of the key things that we're going to deal with is the fact that it has a human touch to it and human correlation in terms of the design, but at the end of the day, it lacks the human context in multiple geographical locations. So if I'm in an African setting, let's say for example in Nairobi, how does a Nairobian perceive a particular issue or feel about a particular topic? ChatGPT might not be able to give me the accurate inference and the accurate deduction from that. So therefore, those are still going to be lapses in terms of the applications. But as we move forward with more data set, more evidence being generated, more use cases being presented, then we are going to be in a position where you could actually ask about how to manage headache once a diagnosis has been made. How do you manage headache? How do you manage cervical cancer? How do you manage mental health, depression, anxiety issues? What are the course of therapy? And that particular device or gadget that you're using would be able to give you the right information that you need to actually give you the recommendation in terms of dosing, what is the monitoring measures, and everything that would be available for you. So you can make inferences on that. The other key thing that is going to happen in this case is the data set need to be generated. And in one of the videos a while back last year, I talked about documentation as a key principle. For these particular artificial intelligence machines and technologies to be rolled out and to be robust enough, they need massive data sets. And that massive data set is about information that has been collected efficiently, effectively, and actually the right quality information, data integrity and authenticity and veracity of that information. So if you're going to be documenting that, we need to document and make it available for the programming and actually the design of these particular solutions. Once we program them accordingly and actually train them with the data set that we're generating, we're able to move to the next level and the next frontier in application of these technologies in advancing care. So the first thing in terms of our place and the role that we could play in the pharma industry or pharmaceutical sector or pharmacy practice generally, first thing we need to generate massive data sets, massive information pool that is going to be used in informing and actually designing these particular technologies. Because if we need them to solve our problems, then they need to understand what our problems are and actually use an inference or a backing point. Because even in terms of my practice, I'll be relying on what was the case that was managed at a particular point. How effective was it? What are the challenges that we experienced? How do we improve on that? And that is what we can offer now. That is going to be the critical bit. And being open AI, it means we can use massive data sources from multiple geographical multiple regions to make it be informed. That is a critical bit that we have to play. And then that means as well, in terms of the development of this solution, then as individuals or professionals, we need to be integrated and actually part of the team that is designing it, because as a subject matter expert, as a domain expert, then you're able to actually guide in terms of where do we want to go with this information, what is the use case, why do we need this AI to understand this particular model and to be able to make a decision on how that particular issue need to be addressed. Because we understand it's about managing particular conditions, managing the personal patient preference, because you're looking at patient-centered care. How does that apply? Then we'll be in a better position. And then in terms of research and development, one of the key things, actually, I remember last year when I went to Ghana, I had a conversation with Darlington Akoto. He's looking at applying AI in diagnostics, radiography, and developing medicine research and development generally. In that conversation, one thing that came out to me is, a while back when I was in the university, we were talking about crowdsourcing and how we could actually generate multiple massive information to help us in research and development. And one of the key things that I was talking about at that particular moment in these discussions were, imagine in every of African community, there is a herbal product that has been used to manage a particular disease. And you'd find that this particular medicine from herbal tree or so has been used in multiple communities in managing different diseases. And if it's been used in managing different diseases, probably there's a particular feature. It's maybe inflammation, it's whatever way, it's an infection, whichever it is. There's a way that that particular medicine works, or that herbal product works. If we were able to crowdsource that information from all the traditional communities, then with that data set that is collected, we go into now analysis of that crowdsourcing information. In crowdsourcing, it's about matching the data sets and actually establishing if it's one plant A and this plant A is being used in 70% of the communities to manage stomach upsets, then it means we can now make an inference that there's a chemical entity in that product that can be used in managing stomach upsets or stomach GIT infections. Then in that case, then we go into further analysis and in-depth drug discovery in terms of analysis, in silico testing, and even clinical trials where necessary. That means our research and development pipeline would be optimized and actually robust enough because of the data that we have. So imagine now with that kind of information and we're having a machine that can actually do that deduction within a moment, it means even when we do analysis and get the data that we can obtain from the lab's analytical data, we can provide it to the machine, and the machine will be able to develop new products for us and actually optimize them in therapeutic management. And the good news is we are in an era where blockchain technologies are coming in as well. And therefore, from your smartwatch, we can understand your vitals, understand your own patient healthcare dynamics, and that metrics are being used in drug development, in managing your treatment, and actually in optimizing therapy in terms of monitoring and evaluation. So it becomes a cascade of a closed loop system in improving your care. So when you look at it in terms of what does OpenAI and ChatGPT have for us as members in the pharma industry, in research development and everything that has been talked about, and I don't think there's much to talk about in that space. But as a professional, the key thing that is for me is what role do you have to play, and what role do I have to play in shaping the future practice with artificial intelligence? One key thing, as I talked about, generating the data that is needed for that movement. And that data has to be informed by particular use cases on what kind of interventions we want to bring into the industry. That is going to be a massive starting point. And that is the starting point, the baseline where we have to, because unless the technology is able to solve the problem, that it won't move us to the next level, which means that would be a kind of a bottleneck in the development and advancement of artificial intelligence. Beyond that, the other key thing that is going to be probably one of the greatest drivers beyond the initial design and development is the critical thinking skills. When I talk about critical thinking, is about, now we're talking about ChatGPT, we're asking a question and you're getting answers. The question is, what kind of questions are you going to ask in the next frontier in terms of pharma industry, or in the next frontier in terms of pharmacy practice, that will get you the right solutions, and those right solutions can move us forward in pharmacy practice, can move us forward in pharmaceutical drug research development and actually design and development of these products. So you need to be able to ask yourself, what questions do we need? What challenges are we contending with? And what are the current barriers in these particular domains of practice that we are in? Because if you're able to have critically think about the problems and the dynamics within which you're working, get the right questions, and with a robust design of the solution that we are looking at in terms of artificial intelligence, you'll be able to ask the right question. With the right questions, trusting that these technologies would be robust and efficient enough, they'll give us the right answers. Therefore, we'll be one step ahead because we'll have an answer to how we solve our problems. Then the other place that's going to come up is about now the implementation. It's not that globally across the world we have so many ideas, actually more than the human population. Unfortunately, most of these ideas never move from idea to concept, the concept to actually a solution that is being implemented, and the implemented ones are also not getting to be successful. The reason being, implementation has been a problem. And therefore, in the next phase, once these artificial intelligence solutions are coming into place, beyond the people who are critical thinkers asking the right questions and getting the right answers, we need implementers who can translate the answers to actually real life case scenarios and case success stories that are going to move human civilization, pharmacy practice, and the pharmaceutical industry to the next frontier where we hope it comes to be. And in so doing, then I believe we'll be able to use these technologies to advance the future of the course of practice and the future of our industry. And that is what I feel is going to be the future. So the question is, for you as a professional, how do you want to play in this space? How do you intend to play that game? Who are you playing it with? And how does that transformation set stage for the next generation of pharmaceutical industry professionals and the pharmacy practitioners in the area? I hope this makes you think and challenges you to look at what alternatives are available, and I hope we're able to shape the future together. As the buzz is coming, don't look at it as a threat to your practice. Look at it as an opportunity, as a leap toward the future that we all have been wishing for. Then ask yourself, what role are you going to play in that transformation? If you enjoy the conversation, please subscribe to the channel. Let's keep the conversation going. Let's keep learning, and let's shape the future of our pharmacy practice together. Thank you and have a great one. Talk to you on Sunday.